time. Follow the drip, the vlog. You know what I mean? I'm here with my special guest, very interesting guest, Micah Dennis. She's the founder of the nonprofit Fayettevillage. It's located in Northwest Arkansas in Fayetteville, and she works with um, disadvantaged youth. And I will let her explain more in detail. Will you tell the people who you are and what you do?
My name is Micah Dennis. I'm the founder of the nonprofit Fayettevillage, and we seek to empower Northwest Arkansas's misguided youth. So we take care of everything that we can as far as their schooling, their court, working with them in the community, as well as on their character. We like to focus mainly on the pipeline of juvenile delinquency. A lot of people don't even know that this exists. It's just like the pipeline of prison. So there's guidelines and pipelines that you will find yourself going down that will lead you in prison as an adult. And so for our children, you know, they start with medicating them, social disorders, behavioral disorders, shit they need to ask for them for, or just some discipline.
Doping them kids.
Yeah, doping them up so they can control them, that kind of thing. So treatment in school, being disruptive in school, that sends you to court quick. And you know, a lot of judges could care less as long as they're getting a check. So dealing with DHS and CPS and treatment facilities and schools that can't handle your child's energy, and then court system who is here to house all of that. That's what we're dealing with. So we try to make our structure fit around that as much as possible and take care of the kids, feed them, give them clothes when they need them.
Well, this is a very special episode for me because I am a convicted felon, and I have been to prison, and I know exactly what you mean when you say the pipeline, because there's definitely pipelines. And I've also been involved in programs like this when I was a youth. So what you do is you exemplify a form of just stand up, and your approach is just 100. And what you do is so unrecognized or so under-recognized. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to bring my platform over here to put you on the pedestal, because I know that you have put so much of yourself into this. You know what I'm saying? And I know some of the kids that you deal with, and I didn't know that you dealt with them for such a long time. So let's go back to the beginning with you. I know that you have you went to school for this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And before we get into all that, I gotta tell a little bit of background about her. Micah is a 3-time national champion, shot put. You know what I mean? So she built to deal with who she be dealing with. You know what I mean? Because like at that age, you deal with a lot of repressed aggression, dealing with them kids, and I know you deal with a lot of boys. You know what I'm saying?
So that's all we got, like 3 girls, and we just got them last year.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're reaching out to girls too. You know, they are a lot. They are, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's harder.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's very, you gotta be very strategic with women because we're so manipulative.
Yeah. Okay.
So, you know, that doesn't start when we're older. That's, you know, as a kid, and I'm not saying my girls are manipulative, but their lifestyles are, especially in an oppressive situation.
But at the age, these kids are so impressionable. Okay.
Absolutely.
And susceptible to bullshit.
Exactly.
And for girls, you know what I mean? It's I got 3 little girls. Well, I got 2 and 1 on the way, so I take that shit real personal. You know what I mean? And like they can be like preyed upon. That's the word I'm looking for.
Absolutely. I think that's my biggest thing on why I didn't want to bring on girls just yet, because I didn't have necessarily the resources to deal with that situation. Now we do. You know, I have partnered up with a couple organizations that when I do know that one of these young ladies are getting trafficked or along those lines, I know who to go to and how to take care of that. We ran into boys getting trafficked lately as well, especially when it has to do with drugs and just that type of trafficking altogether. So, you know.
So Fayetteville, you were involved in athletics, okay, in college. You graduated, and when you graduated, I ain't never graduated college, but I know when I graduated high school, I came to a point in my life and I was like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So was this something that you were planning on doing?
Yeah.
Or was this like something that you were passionate about, or you had a void in your life? Or like, just where did this idea come from?
Yeah. So I did have, you know, a major void in my life growing up. I didn't meet my dad until I was 15.
Okay.
And my mom was in a lot of abusive relationships. So we always had to go through these same cycles over and over, being homeless, getting another man, homeless, getting, you know, that kind of cycle. So I didn't really have the stability in my life, but athletics played as a father figure in my life. You know, that's something in our community that we don't really realize, but athletics does play the father figure in a lot of households because it shows that discipline and that structure that dads give us. You know what I'm saying? So that was like my father growing up, and then when I met my dad, you know, we was like this from then. But so growing up, I didn't have much at all but sports. And I had my mom, and so at first I wanted to do a women and children's shelter. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to. I was probably
from your personal.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I wanted somewhere to go because we never had anywhere to go. So I wanted to do that. And then like once I got about 10th grade, I was like, man, I want my own community center. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to run everything in the community, do this and this. So that was my mindset until junior college, because I went to junior college in Arizona. And I transferred up here. So
JUCO.
Yeah, JUCO for real. Bread. So I was like, man, parents are dumb sometimes. You know, when I got older, I started to realize all the stuff that parents put their kids through that they don't have to, but it's because of lack of discipline and lack of self-mastery that the kids have to suffer.
And they have to deal with it and get through on their own.
And as a kid, you don't understand what mom is going through, but when you get older, you're like, oh, well, I can do this and that won't happen. I can do this. You can make your own decisions. So I'm like, you know what? I want kids without parents. So I wanted foster kids. So I went from the community center to having a self-sustaining foster campus. Where we grow our own food, we house the kids, and we do all their treatment. Because in my mind, the program is nothing but a Band-Aid. Because if I sit here and I talk to you for 2 to 3 hours and put all my heart, but you go home for 18 and you go to school for however long and become miseducated and mistreated, what is my 2 to 3 hours? You get what I'm saying?
And all these outside influences.
Exactly. You don't know who's
from the people around them to the media. You know, because they are consumed. They are constantly, non-stop shot with nonsense.
Yeah,
with these phones and with the social media and shit. You know what I mean? And it can get out of hand. And it's so much that go on online that we don't know about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Because the kids are always like a step ahead, or like they know the new thing.
Yeah.
So
you know, I ain't never understand that until I got older. Because I remember that, you know, parents gonna, oh, y'all on the new shit, y'all know something a little. And now when I see like with them, and they really, I'm thankful that my kids trust me so much. You know what I'm saying? Because they allow me to see into their world. They allow me that open space to where they can be honest with me, because I need that in order to genuinely help you and help fix your trauma and allow you to grow in a different direction.
Well, see, you are a rarity because you really you do this from the heart. You know what I mean? And it shows with your compassion and the type of dedication that you give to each and every one of them. So with that being said, I know that you've been doing this for a while, because I just realized that not too long ago, I didn't know how long you had been doing this. I remember back in the day when y'all used to have the little backpack giveaway over there on the south side and the get-togethers and the barbecues. I showed up to one, but I was late, you know what I mean? But I didn't know that was exactly you. So how long has Fayettevillage been from when you thought of it to you getting it set up? How long have you been going to this point?
Well, when I realized what exactly I wanted to do, I started it while I was still in college, because it was the mentality of when I graduate, what am I going to do? I have a degree in sociology. You can't do shit with that, but take the knowledge and build something. You know, like unless you want to be a sociologist,
or you get into the red tape of like the DHS.
Yeah, exactly. Social work.
You can't really
type of shit.
do anything.
Go be a PO or something.
Yeah, you can't really give yourself as much as you want, because you got guidelines, you got red tape, you got rules.
Exactly.
And shit. So you want to really be personal with your
for sure. I don't want to be told what to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want somebody to have to tell me how we should heal, and you've never been in our situation.
I was just going to say that coming from your background, it made more sense to you to be more hands-on.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's more how I mean, if I learn hands-on, my kids learn hands-on. We learn better when we do things. We go through the cycle. We go through the experience of it because we've been taught nothing but experiences. And then as a kid, you have to sit there and evaluate it. How am I going to allow this to affect me? You know what I'm saying? And that's how you can always tell a good person from a bad person a lot of times is when something bad happens to you, what do you do with it? Do you go and do that to somebody else? Do you allow it to put you down, or do you take that and you learn and you teach from it? You know what I'm saying? You take that and you thrive from it because things don't happen to us for no reason.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? So when you listen to your intuition and you take these messages and these mishaps as guides to your story and your journey, it's gonna be like, you know, stepping stone.
It's strange because you never know your purpose.
Right.
And your purpose can change a lot of times because that's just how crazy life is and how your future is.
For real.
And my sister, she has a youth basketball league, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whenever I'm helping her and I go to her practices and shit, you know what I mean? She a great coach. You know, I done seen her go from one level to the next level. I done seen these kids go from being total bums and can't get the ball up and down the court to being transition players, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I'm there, anything that I say, they eat it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I recognized it one day, and she was having some trouble with them, and I was just like, they so receptive to me that I had to start taking myself to practices more. You know what I mean? It's been a lot of times I wouldn't feel like it, but you never know the impact or the change that you can have in a kid with just the personal relationship that y'all have. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And coming from my background, I don't know what they're going through, but I know I come from where I come from.
Right.
So I can just use my experience. And they just so fucking receptive to me because I guess with me looking the way I look, you know what I mean? They kind of let their guard down, you know, and that's what you want, you know, because kids, I've been a kid and you clam up, you know what I mean? You close up and you like, this person don't really give a damn about me. And you know, that's what you're saying in the back of your head because you don't really want to open up. It's easier for you to keep all that bullshit bottled up. How do you go about dealing with all of the emotional strains and the financial strains, the time restraints, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you gotta prioritize. You gotta take everything, you know what I'm saying, with a grain of salt. Like you can't get too emotionally involved. And so the way I approached it is I went to my kids. The first 6 months I was with my kids, I never told them what to do.
Okay.
I didn't feel the need to because I need to see how you move. I want you to trust me. We need to have a relationship because these people out here are not for you.
Yes.
So that's who is draining.
Yes.
My kids, they can mess up a million times. It happens. I will not leave you because that's what everybody else has done.
That's basically giving them room to be kids.
Exactly. It's giving them room to grow. It's giving them room to make mistakes. Because this is the thing. When you're poor and you make a mistake, oh my God, that's way worse than when you rich and you make a mistake.
What you talking
because
about?
That shit sets you back so far. You're like you can't hardly come from it, and that's why poverty is what it is. And so it's just like with our people and with our kids, they expect our young black boys to be men at 11.
Yes,
to be men at 12.
They look at us as men at 9.
And it's ridiculous.
They feel like we are a threat. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And it's so unfair. You know what I mean? Because when you a child, you aren't an adult.
Right.
So you don't make all the best decisions. You don't always think with the right intentions. You know what I mean? You are a child.
Yeah.
But when you are a colored child, or you know what I'm saying?
Go on and double your age. However old you are, double that. Because that's how they looking at you.
It's so much. It's just so terrible. It's so much bad. It's so worse.
They just see the skin color as being so violent. You know what I'm saying? You're offended by the skin color, and you should be. You know what I'm saying? If you are, then you absolutely should be. You're probably offended for the wrong reason, but you do your history, you will be offended. You know what I'm saying? You got to be offended by a God. So it just is what it is.
You take this very personal.
Yeah, I mean I do because it's like, well, if I had somebody that was with me every step of the way, you know, I had some coaches that were definitely always there for every season. You know what I'm saying? So like with them, I'm there with them. I remember like the summer after we all got together, like we were probably together like 8 or 9 months, and all of them got arrested. You know what I'm saying? And so I went and got a job at the jail, at the JDC. Because I need to make sure my kids are taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to make sure y'all.
So that's how you ended up. I remember you told me.
That's how I ended up working there. So I started working nights at the jail, and I would run my organization in the daytime because that's what was needed. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, if I know I can come in here and I can talk the talk, I can walk the walk, I dress how you want me to. But at the end of the day, I speak their language too. And you can't fault me because I speak your language. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as you want to treat me as you treat them, I treat you like you want to be treated. Now you automatically have to. It's all about intention and energy. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing we deal with in this pipeline of juvenile delinquency is a lot of spiritual warfare. There's a lot of negativity, a lot of evil people running these systems.
A lot of pessimistic ideology.
Oh,
you
man.
know what I mean? Where
for real.
It's more focused on the negative than on the positive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's so much easier for me to just lock you away and say that you're bad than it is for me to help you, and let's get to the root of this bullshit and find out what's really the problem or the issue. You know what I mean?
And you're gonna make me more money when you're behind the wall. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I hit that, I can see that check. However long I signed you, that's a big ass check, man. So ain't no telling what they doing with folks at this point, and they starting with our kids very early. You know what I'm saying? They make $40,000 to $60,000 a year. The state does off kids in JDC, and kids in the foster care system, they can make up to $1 million off of them because of all the bullshit treatment they put them through. Like I know here in Washington County, we medicate 70% of kids in the jail, and only 20% of those kids are medicated outside of the jail. What does that tell you? Why are we medicating all of these kids when they're under our care and in our system, but when they go home, now you don't feel that they need the medication? Right there, I feel that's some bullshit. You pull them from somewhere you ain't supposed to pull. You medicating where you ain't supposed to.
And that's kind of like a lead to drug abuse, because basically if I'm doping you up while you under my care, you know what I mean, and then when you're not under my care, you can't get these drugs. You may tend to feel like you want to lean on other substances. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I dibbled and dabbled in shit early, you know what I mean? And a lot of times you're just trying to deal with what's going on around you in the environment that you're raised in, and you know what I'm saying, and deal with the people that you have to deal with on a regular basis. And it can get tough. And when you're a child, you don't know how to deal with all those different emotions. So because me and you will shoot shit all day. We sitting out here in front of this guard. So, explain this garden that's going on.
So, I mean, we just talking about being medicated. This should be our medicine. Our food should be our medicine, and that's everything that we do is connected in some way. It might not look like it, but you have to be strategic when you're dealing with a system that is not to be broken, because it's not broke. You know what I'm saying?
So you taking kind of like a holistic approach.
Just how we do the care and the grassroots care for the kids, and going to the street, and going and working with them at home, those type of things. We want the same thing for their body and for their mind. So if we know that, see, this is the thing, when our kids are going to school, they done probably had milk and cereal, or they had some chicken fetuses for breakfast. You know, they probably done had some bullshit, some pig backs, some bullshit for breakfast. A whole bunch of hormone-filled bullshit. And our kids is already hyper, you know what I'm saying? They young kings, they young gods. They got all this energy and power in them. And so when you're young, you want that to grow. And when we put these things in their body, it suppresses them, but then it also creates chaos. Chemically, it chemically imbalances the kid. It's a bunch of chaos going on. So you wonder why every time you tell them to sit down,
they can't sit down.
They can't sit down. They done forgot that you done told them to sit down already. And then you want to medicate them on top of the hormones. You know what I'm saying? On top of the oppression, on top of the misprogramming. We got to start with feeding their body and their mind, you know, holistically, in order to address that.
The garden.
Digging at my garden.
Welcome.
Finna eat some vegetables.
To the garden.
Came from trying to have a more healthy approach. To just their daily, one of their daily necessities.
Absolutely. Food. I mean, this agriculture can really be the new dope game. You know what I'm saying? Just like how I'm about to set up at the farmers market for them to sell these vegetables. So at the end of the day, when we're able, farmers make a lot of money if you're in the right farming business. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to it, you know how to grow this plant. We got plenty of land. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to go out there and plant and go out there and farm and go out. And I know as black people, we want to stay away from that shit a lot of times. Like, where I'm from, we ain't do that shit. To me, when I think of black people and farming, I'm like, I ain't trying to go be a slave.
Yeah.
My ancestors probably did this shit. I'm not trying to go be a slave. But when it come down to it, who's feeding you? Who is making sure that you ate? You don't even know, man, who touched that.
Yeah, where is it
who planted it? What's inside of that? You have no clue. So to know. And then when you taste the food that you grow, it's so different. Like last year, my first year growing, and it like changed my whole perspective because like my food tastes better. You know what I'm saying? I'm a vegetarian. I don't even eat meat no more.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Just because like I want my mind to be clear. I gotta do what I'm trying to preach to these kids and show them how you can live a more holistic lifestyle. So this can very easily be the new dope game. We can have urban gardening. We got blueprints. We can set it up. We got seeds. We'll set that shit up too. But at the end of the day, growing your food and knowing what's being put in your body that you have control over is very important. You know what I'm saying? We can't, like you said, you don't know who's out here programming your kids at all. So,
and what you're doing is teaching them some life lessons on so many different levels. When you said garden, new dope game, you talking my motherfucking language. Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying?
All good.
But like, because when you young, when I was young, I wanted to be involved. I wanted to be at it, and you basically gonna emulate whatever you see going on around you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how you gonna want to make your money.
Yeah.
But you gotta have people around you that's trying to show you other ways to make your money. And basically, that's what you're doing. When you basically said with the urban, no, you said the farmers market.
Yeah.
You gonna basically take the boys up there and they gonna trap the damn vegetables.
That's literally hard. What you're doing.
That's hard.
Like, and because you're a nonprofit,
hard.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and they understand, okay, we sitting here and I'm about to buy these vegetables from a nonprofit, so I know they need donations. Man, you probably sell a little bowl of tomatoes for $30 just because somebody cares about what's going on in your life and understands that you out here working for something better. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely doable. And it's definitely something a lot of people need to do. The kids bring other kids to us, and they bring them in because they helped me build it.
Okay.
They showed me what they needed. They told me what they needed. When I first approached them, like after that first encounter, them running from me, you know what I'm saying? And then I started, because I lived on Curtis, so I just started going down there. And so one day they was out there hooping. I just started seeing ankle monitors, weed in the sides, money in the sides. So I'm like, shit, I know they need some community service. And as a 501c3, I know I can offer that. So I went and talked to Murphy because he wasn't hooping at the time. He went and got his mama, then he went and got everybody else right there, and then we just started from there, started cleaning up Southmont. And then I just started like building from there, because then it was like, okay, we got court dates and PO meetings. All right, we got that out the way. All right, bet. Now court talking about school. Now it's time to go to school. Y'all going to class. And you
make sure that all these options, you make sure all of these details and shit, you handle all that.
Yeah. You have to, because it's holistically the whole child. Like, I remember when we first started working, all y'all was at FHS. Everybody was still at FHS, and then they was all getting kicked out of FHS and coming over here. So we just did a transition over here with Dr. Hoy, which I love Dr. Hoy because she understands these kids. You know what I'm saying? And she gives them room in order to feel how they want to feel. She allows them to be a person. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times as adults, we act like kids ain't got no say in shit.
They ain't got no feelings.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I got a 13-year-old daughter, and she kind of checked me on that shit.
Yeah.
I had her down here going to Raymond for a little while, maybe a year ago, and she was going through some shit, and she was from California, and this was totally different for her. You know what I mean? And she just totally just came out. Was like, you can't tell me that how I feel don't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that shit kind of blew me away, because she was totally right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because you're a child don't mean you ain't got feelings and emotions, and you ain't going through some shit, and you ain't suffering from some shit. And how can I tell you that whatever you dealing with is not important?
Right.
That's fucked up.
And see, that's one thing, like with them, like we talk a lot about emotional intelligence and understanding, like emotions are okay. You know what I'm saying? These are a way for a certain reason, but there are ways to deal with them. No emotion is a bad one.
And critical thinking.
Absolutely. Conflict resolution. All of that. You know what I'm saying? So definitely all of those things of having that high emotional intelligence, to be able to read people, to be able to read situations, to be able to make better decisions. You know, that type of thing. Those are what our kids need in these environments, because we can't always take them out of the hood. You know what I'm saying? But I need you to make a better decision while you in the hood.
Yeah.
And that's the big part of what we do. And that's the big part, you know what I'm saying, of Captain Saberhood in our next steps with growing. You know what I'm saying? Because that is the next step.
Because that's what I wanted to get into that with you. Like, what were your next steps? Like, where were you going? Because I don't know. Well, I ain't gonna say I don't know, but at some point they gonna get older.
Yeah.
And like you age out of shit.
Right.
So like, are you just gonna let them run free, or are you like adapting your program to walk with them throughout their life? Or
and that's where the transitional living part is gonna be built on. See, like a lot of grants are given from the age of 13 to 18. That was the first we addressed. The next grants are 18 to 24. Transitional living. So you go and you kind of go with the phases that we already have. You don't reinvent the wheel, but you go into the phases. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So it's just like we address this part. We have this. We know everything. So oncoming classes, we know how to deal with them. We know how to address them. We know what to see. They done put me through everything that I need to know in order to help other kids. And then when it comes to the 18 to 24, they also gonna have to we gonna have to work through that together too. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of programs that are already done, and that we can piggyback off of it and go a step further. But like I said, this group of kids, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna get into that. I hadn't planned on it.
I was about to say, the group of kids is a very special group, but they've already been kicked out everywhere. They've already been let go. They already don't want you. And that's how
they already been labeled.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Don't nobody want to look bad.
And the fucked up part about it is you label a kid, you label a child when they are constantly growing.
Exactly.
So if you label them, how are they going to grow?
Yeah.
Because you've already put a stigma on them.
Yeah.
You put you rooted them to something.
Yeah.
You done stamped something on them like a scarlet letter. And you don't give them the opportunity to grow out of that stage.
Exactly.
It's like they want them to stay in a certain stage, you know what I'm saying? Because I know them. I really didn't come to talk about them, but we talked about them. You know what I mean? Did you know that they had that type of talent with music and shit?
Yeah, I mean we recorded together before, absolutely. But it becomes a thing of like, if that's what makes you happy, I want you to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'll take care of this. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do your music and all this shit, but when it comes down to it, school is still more important. You know what I'm saying? We still got court dates. We still got. So that's my focus. You know what I'm saying? That's more my focus because I love what they do. You know what I'm saying? And I support it 100%. And there's ways to grow from where you start.
Yeah.
So I don't look at what they do in any way in a negative way, and that's another way of having to adapt to these kids, because this is the thing. They create the way. They create the jobs for the future. It ain't us. You know what I'm saying? At one point it was us, and now those jobs are being filled. But until we can sit here and have a future teller, I'm not going to tell this kid that they ain't shit, because I can't tell the future. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people said I wasn't shit. I didn't even talk. When I was a kid, I didn't even talk. I don't got time to talk to you. I'm going to sit here and watch you because I'm in some shit right now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's very different how you approach kids when they learn.
Coming from my background, coming from a rapper background, because I rap and shit, I can say that a lot of times going to the studio for me was like therapy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't like to tell motherfuckers my issues. I didn't like to talk about my problems and shit. I would just bottle my shit up.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would just go into a studio and I would take all my frustrations out on the microphone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I could basically talk about whatever the fuck I wanted to talk about and say whatever I wanted to say.
Yeah.
And even if it was me just being angry or me talking about whatever the hell I wanted to talk about and describe whatever I seen or the environment that I came from and the people that were in the environment that I came from, I treated it as therapy, and it helped me. You know what I'm saying? And I know you real protective of them, and like I consider myself a connoisseur of good shit around this bitch in Arkansas and rap music and other culture. So when I heard of them and I seen them and I heard them, I was like, who the fuck? I was like, this what's up. You know what I mean? I didn't know you had anything to do with it. You know what I'm saying?
I was saying, that's the thing, like, I may have something to do with sparking their mind, but that workforce is them. That hard work and these bars and they just they swag and how they want to direct their video, that's them, you know what I'm saying?
But at the same time, I know about the creative process, and you gotta have a certain amount of comfort. Like there's no way that you can create in a situation where you are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know, or you gonna come off just you're not gonna come off like them. You're gonna come off angry and shit. And I personally don't like the way that they being treated. You know what I mean? I can say that for the camera because they young, they creative, they have bright future, and I feel like people are just trying to label them and put a jacket on them that they don't deserve.
I mean, and that's something that I stress to people all the time, and especially young people, is that when a motherfucker tell you that you can't do something, it's because they can't and they couldn't. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of people in power positions that could really help these kids, but because they might feel this competition or they might feel this, that, and the third, they don't want to deal with it. Also, nobody wants to look bad. You got to think, we in a day and age of branding, of symbolism. When I see this thing and I associate it with this type of behavior, you're gonna only get you're only gonna get this type of audience, this type of feedback, this type of look. But who is gonna sit here and protect our kids and be that thing? See, that's what we do as an organization. We're that thing. I don't care what I look like. You still gonna outsource me to come help your badass kids though, huh? You still gonna come outsource me and pay me to come run your organization though, behind closed doors.
But you can't take care of your own.
Yeah, but you can't. You know what I'm saying? But you wanna shit on my kids and talk about these kids. Didn't nobody help these kids. So what you doing? You doing the same thing these folks doing. They did to you. They did this to y'all. You know what I'm saying? You wanna come over here and talk that shit. So when it come down to it, I take every hit there is. Companies don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And
companies don't get rid of your
because it loses money. We all scraping and trying to be the next thing and have the best idea, be the first and be the longest, that type of shit. So to me, I don't mind because that's our society. I don't give a fuck about our society. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty skewed anyway. So when it comes down to it, it's throwing those wrenches in certain systems and allowing and being strategic on how we bounce through this whole life, because a lot of ways, man, we being spiritually suppressed to where we can't hear our inner God anymore. We can't hear our intuition anymore. And that's what I keep telling them. When you told him over there and you was like, man, when you hear that thing that say, man, something ain't right, go sit down. I tell them that all the time, like, bro, your intuition is telling you. That little voice is like, hey, man, this ain't right. The more you listen to it, the louder it gets. You know what I'm saying? So just being that voice that's always loud even when I don't speak, and even when I walk into every room, you know who I am and I don't know who you are.
I just gotta give you a lot of kudos and congrats, man, because you done cultivated these boys to, you done nourished them. You know what I'm saying? They could just be shit dried out stones or plants somewhere and just, you know what I mean? But you help them nourish them, grow and water them and shit. And what they could be, I know what they are now, but what they could be is something that's so great, and I'm just proud of you for doing it, man. In Fayettevillage, I know it took a lot out of you. You know what I mean? Listen, they so tight knit, man. I'm talking about, they like this, and they ain't letting nobody come in.
There's so many people trying to infiltrate right now and not help. You know, people even just rather talk shit about what they see or what they heard instead of being like, hey, can I come volunteer?
Or can I talk to them? Can I meet them? You know what I mean?
I'm saying? Hey, I went through this. Let me come holler at you. Just what you did. You know what I'm saying? When you hit me, you knew how I was.
Man.
I don't give a fuck. I could care less about who want to do what. If you're not trying to feed no mouths, trying not to help no kids. You know what I'm saying? So when we was talking, but then very soon I was just like, okay. You know what I'm saying? I see the persistency of the shit. Like, he give a fuck.
Yeah. I just see myself in him a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just know how this area will look at you.
Yeah.
Because you are not what they want you to be.
Right.
And I feel totally like if you ain't running, jumping, throwing something, shooting a basketball, you know what I'm saying, running fast, swinging something fast, they don't want us up here. They don't want you up here shining and winning. You know what I mean?
And we ain't got our own space, you know what I'm saying? That's at the end of the day. Fayetteville don't got its own space. That's uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, who wanna feel that way?
Yeah, that's real.
I gotta read a sign and say I can't have gold teeth, I can't wear my pants, I can't wear,
like
you know what I'm saying?
Like you're a fucking refugee or some shit.
Like, who told you that this shit was cool? You know what I'm saying? So for us to have our own space where this is how we rock, and if you uncomfortable, you leave. Cause this ain't your space, obviously. You know what I'm saying? We like loud music, we like barbecues, we like kicking it, we like family gatherings, unity
and
gatherings.
There's no problem, there's no violence, there's nothing going on that's unnecessary.
Exactly.
People are just enjoying life. It's like some people don't get to enjoy life freely as other people.
Exactly.
Okay. So while we here, for anybody that's needing some assistance or they have some children or some nephews or someone that are at risk, some youth, you know what I mean, how would they get in touch with you? What are your contacts and stuff like that?
So you can find me on Captain_Saberhood on Instagram. You can find us at Fayettevillage on Instagram, Fayettevillage on Facebook, as well as Captain Saberhood on Facebook as well. We're branding Captain Saberhood, so we'll make it possible for you to purchase our curriculum to work in your own home. So you don't necessarily have to deal with us, but you can deal with our structure and our curriculum and everything that you want to get out.
Awesome
we'll also be selling like our blueprints, seeds, just everything that we have built, and anything that you would need holistically to take care of your youth that are going through these things. We'll have available, as well as a lot of articles to explain why we're doing certain things a certain way, or just to be able to connect with the parents, because it's a lot of things of ignorance is a motherfucker.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
And it's blissful. And because you don't know no better.
Exactly.
So I love what you're doing, because you basically you are providing the shovel or the fishing rod instead of going out and getting the fish and just giving them to people. You know what I mean? You showing people the basic groundwork to do and help in the same traditional way that you do. You know what I mean? And that's so organic and that's so real. You know what I mean? And that's what's up. That's
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Y'all stay tuned. Go subscribe. You know what I mean? Go check out Fayettevillage Captain Saberhood. Believe me, it's worth a view. It's worth a click. You know what I mean? Just follow the truth.